In this video, we're going to be looking at evaluating trigonometric functions. So we're going to evaluate the 6 trigonometric functions of the angle theta. So looking at this first one, I have my angle theta up here, and I have the sides 5 and 12. However, I don't know what my third side is. So I'm going to first have to figure out what that third side is. But something that we should remember is that we have what we call the Pythagorean theorem, and that is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where a and b are your legs and c is your hypotenuse. So here we're missing our hypotenuse. We're missing that side opposite of the right angle. So to find that side, which is going to be c, I'm just going to do 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to c squared. Well, 5 squared, I get 25. 12 squared, I get 144. When I add those, I get 169. And now to get rid of that square, remember we need to take the square root of both sides. So when I take the square root, I get 13 is equal to c. So I have 13 is my hypotenuse. And so now I'm going to go ahead and label all my sides so I can easily see what's my hypotenuse, my adjacent, and my opposite side. So I already know 13, that is my hypotenuse, and I'm just going to do HYP for short. The side opposite of my angle theta, and I'm just going to draw an arrow, that is my opposite side, and I'm just going to do OPP for short. And so that leaves 5 to be my adjacent side, and I'm going to do ADJ for short. So now I need to figure out all of these ratios, and I have up here what the different ones are. Something that I like to think about to remember for sine, cosine, and tangent is an acronym called SOHCAHTOA. So I'm going to have SOHCAHTOA. And what that stands for is S is sine, O is opposite, H is hypotenuse. So that means for sine, that's going to equal to opposite over hypotenuse. And I see my opposite side is 12, and my hypotenuse is 13. So this equals 12 over 13. Cosine, that's going to be the cos. So I have cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Well, my adjacent side is equal to 5, and my hypotenuse is equal to 13. And then the TOA, that stands for tangent, is opposite over adjacent. My opposite side is 12 and my adjacent side is 5. And now to figure out the other 3, I just need to remember that they are the reciprocal of sine, cosine, and tangent. So cosecant is just sine flipped, so this is going to be 13 over 12. Secant is cosine flipped, so it's going to be 13 over 5. And then cotangent is tangent flipped, so this is going to be 5 over 12. Okay, let's go through another one. So here I have the sides 15 and 17. I see that 17 is opposite of my right angle, so it's going to be my hypotenuse. And I just need to figure out what this other leg is. So this time I'm given the hypotenuse, but I need to figure out a leg. So I want to have a squared plus 15 squared is equal to my hypotenuse squared, which is 17. And so using my calculator, I see when I do 15 squared, I get 225. And then when I do 17 squared, I get 289. And then when I subtract 225 from both sides, I get 64. And then taking the square root, I see that my missing side is going to be 8. And so now I need to go ahead and figure out what my labeling are. I know 17 is my hypotenuse. The side opposite of theta is my opposite side. And so that leaves 8 to be my adjacent. And so sine of theta, remember SOHCAHTOA, so that means it's opposite over hypotenuse. My opposite side is 15, and my hypotenuse is 17. Cosine of theta, that is adjacent over hypotenuse. Sorry. So that's going to be 8 over 17. And then tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent, which is 15 over 8. And now to figure out these other ones, it's just going to be the reciprocal. So cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, so that's going to be 17 over 15. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so that's going to be 17 over 8. And cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, so it's going to be 8 over 15.